What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Beyond the 90. We've won. Leicester City have beaten Crystal Palace 2-1. We've got Ali from Pride of South London Fan TV, who be kind to him because, again, in the reverse fixture, I wouldn't be too happy. But we've got Mark as well and Alex as per usual. Go over to you first, Ali, with your initial thoughts for the game.
Do you know what? I didn't have any expectations for the game. I mean, I did a couple of previews before the game and I was very pessimistic. And then it's just typical Palace. You go 1-0 up and they get you believing again. I feel wounded. I feel like Harry Maguire after a night out in Greece.
Do you know what? It's really funny that you say that. The guy that's where I'm from in Leicester is actually probably the most famous person from my area because he battered up Harry Maguire, and that's literally the only point. Anyway, we'll get on. We'll get away from that now. Alex, over to you. I mean, what a result for Leicester City.
Oh, it's huge. I would say that the performance that we played today wasn't the best, for the full 90 minutes, but the 3 points though is critical and will be massive for the final couple games of the season.
Yeah, they really will be. Over to you, Mark. Beginning thoughts of the game before we jump into it, but kind of echoing the same point. But really not a really good performance overall, was it?
No, really poor first half, wasn't it? Brendan again earning his crust at half time, I think. Not any change of formation or any change of tactics, but keeping the guys calm, knowing that they get the chances. And luckily the second half performance was quite a bit better. But, we get back to 1-1 and you're thinking they're going to score here. When Riedewald goes through, he looked for all the world that they would surely score from there. But we win the game with an absolute rocket, don't we, from Kelechi and Nacho. The only place in the goal that he can bury that is where he put it, and he is just something else, isn't he?
He was ridiculous. I think as well, the first goal we'll probably come on to in a bit from Timothy Castagna was again right in that top corner as well, which was sensational to watch. But first over to you, Ali. I just want to bring it on to Crystal Palace. Obviously, should have got something today, to be perfectly honest with you. But first off, you were in control, and it was the Crystal Palace that you were speaking about on other podcasts. I was listening to them going, okay, we could be in a chance here. But physically, you dominated us pretty much all over the park. And when you had the opportunity, you did take it.
Yeah, I mean, I've eaten humble pie on social media tonight in terms of Roy because everyone saw the team and thought, oh, he's gone with the same team. He's gone 4-4-2. But he mixed it up and he put Saha on the left and Eze through the middle, which I've been calling for a number of weeks now. And it worked beautifully, didn't it? Eze played the ball through. I think we exploited your wing-back system there. I think Saha had a lot of space on the left for that first goal. And you're looking at it thinking, this could be our day, actually. But then we never really kicked on from there. And then I felt like when you got it back to 1-1, actually, then we had a little spell, obviously, with the gyro Riedewald missed when he squared it. He should have taken the shot on, but he's not. I knew when he was through on goal, I thought, he's not a goal scorer. What's he going to do here? So, it's mixed feelings. I'm very indifferent about the end of the season anyway. I never, as you've alluded to, never went in with any hope, really. But when we went 1-0 up, it's typical Palace. They dangle you the hope and then take it away. So, I think we probably did deserve something, but then special goals win football matches, and that's what Iheanacho's done tonight.
Exactly, and then just a comment from Ant as well. The results today was poor, and we definitely agree there, but getting 3 points is what all that matters today, Alex. We come on to the first half. Today, I think, in the first half, you got to be honest, Palace just dominated us all over the pitch, really pushing us around, showing us basically what a technical team versus a physical team the difference is, and they were just beating us. But you know what? There was just so much bad play to be fired all through the match from Leicester City.
Yeah, you know what? Zach did say it perfectly. It was definitely a tale of two halves. That first half was horrendous. My best way that I kind of looked at it was when Rodgers went to the dressing room. If you've ever played Football Manager, it's throw the water bottle, and I'm just picturing him throwing the water bottle and just
that never works
it on his players, because that's what I would have done, and that's what I really thought was happening. So, that first half was pretty brutal, and just their all-around play just wasn't there today. And as I'm reading the comments, as we've been discussing this, everyone is very much in agreement. Was their play spectacular? No, but were the points massive? Absolutely. And at the end of the day, if we can pull those 3 points out, even with a terrible performance, I'll take it.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. I mean, we're going to try and secure the top four, and we've been written off. Even in the half time, we would still be written off, in my opinion. But we came back and we got the 3 points, Mark. And again, that's all that matters. But again, you don't play well, but you get the points. Surely that's all that we care about, really.
Yeah, you go back to our title winning season. Not every game in that season was glorious, was it? We had to dig in and grind out results. And, you talk about the pretty football that we play at times. There's been a real sort of strength tonight shown mentally to stay in the game and come out on top, because it wasn't our greatest game of the season. And do you know what? Credit to Palace for the way that they played. I don't enjoy playing Crystal Palace. We tend to get smashed by them. Claude Puel will tell you that. Zaha loves scoring against us, so when he scored, that was no surprise. But all that matters tonight is the win. And you're right when you're talking about half time, and the narrative that Sky are playing there is very much, we want the Liverpools and the sides down there to be creeping in, and we've sport the party again for them. So it's great to see, isn't it? The non-Super League teams creating the atmosphere tonight.
Yeah, and still.
Could I just, Neil, step in there? Zaha, I saw a stat. Zaha, you're the second team he scored the most goals against. The only team he scored more is against our rivals, Brighton.
You love to see it, hey?
Yeah,
surely in the grand scheme of things, though, for Palace, you wouldn't want West Ham or Chelsea getting in the Champions League ahead of Leicester, would you? So
I actually now, through marriage, live in a West Ham area. I am praying they don't get Champions League football. It will be an absolute nightmare living here. So, I don't think they will. I think it will be, obviously, you guys. I think Chelsea will get it as well. So.
But either way, from that London perspective, you'd want West Ham over Chelsea, though.
No, if you live in a West Ham area, like all the myths you hear about them, like they believe they won the 1966 World Cup and all that, it's all true. I absolutely, hand on heart, do not want them to get in the Champions League.
Well, we're doing our best. We say that we lost.
You guys keep going.
Yeah, we've got everything. We'll see what we have to do about that. But yes, again, we'll come on to the first goal, Ali. But from your perspective, Ali, took it really well, played fantastically first half in to shut Leicester out, and just overall in the pitch, you did really well, and you took the chance, and that's all that mattered in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that, first of all, I'd say why Roy played 4-4-2 for most of the season was he moved Wilf in the central role. So I do get that, because he's had a really good scoring ratio this season, but I think recently it's not been working out as much, because I think we have been found wanting in the central midfield, and Roy switched it up today. He put Eze in the middle and Zaha on the left, and it worked really well. And that's the first thing to say about that goal. We've been calling for it, Palace fans, for a while, for Eze to move central and Wilf to move left. And it worked beautifully. I mean, it was a great ball from Eze and a great finish from Wilf. And that's now his 10th goal of the season. So he's got double digits for the second time in 3 seasons in one of the most defensive teams in Europe. Not bad for a player with no end product and a bad attitude, if you believe some of the tired, washed up pundits.
Yeah, you can't believe them. We've heard some absolute crap, I think, from over the years from pundits from a Leicester perspective as well. So yes, a question from Sweet and Sour Soccer. So make sure you go and subscribe to their channel as well. Fantastic guys over there. Great win, but best for you. Exactly, we got the win, and that's all that matters. And yeah, shout out to Ali as well. So also, if you want to subscribe to Ali's channel, and if you've got a Leicester review, the link is in the description down below, and he's got his Twitter as well. So
please do. I'm on 149, which is really annoying me. So please, you've been my 150th. You can win this 9.
Well, fantastic. Then you got a competition now. You see, Ali, you're a proper YouTuber now. You've got competitions and all sorts.
I don't know. I don't really want to give my name away, but please subscribe. Yeah.
by hook or by crook, but yes, we get on with it. Well, again, there's not a lot we could touch. We've kind of touched on the first half, Mark, but back to you again for the second half. We get the goal, and one thing I want to touch on before we touch on Nacho, because again the comments are flooded with him, and I 100% understand why. The amount of chances he created today. Normally we shout about Maddison and the chances created. He creates so many chances today, and the confidence is flowing through him, but. Obviously, scoring goals is one thing, but taking the opportunity, getting it at the halfway line and playing. He was twice the player Maddison was today, and he's not even a central. He's not even a cam.
Yeah, he was a threat, wasn't he? He was our biggest threat through the game. So, it was pleased for him to score, but his assist was just as impressive. I was a bit worried that VAR was going to chalk it off because the longer that check goes on, the more that you think this is going to end really badly for us. But thankfully, it didn't. But he's an intelligent footballer. He's worked on a lot of his game. I think he still needs to work on his first touch a little bit, and that's going to help us out even further. But for me, he's our match winner at the moment. But defenders don't know what they're going to do when they've got Vardy and Iheanacho against them, because they don't know who to go to. And actually, there is no right or wrong answer in that, because they're both lethal, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Well, today we'll probably get onto Vardy in just a second, but over to you, Alex. I mean, Nacho
I'm going to
today.
head now, mate, if that's okay.
Okay, no worries. I know.
Yeah, feel free to drop me out.
But
it's nice to come on.
I'll see you in a bit, mate. I'll see you in a bit. But yeah, thanks for Mark for joining. I'll make sure to leave his channel and for his videos and stuff in the description down below as well. Over to you, Alex. Just brilliant from Nacho today. He keeps performing up and up and up. And to think about, again, we were talking about just last time when he missed the penalty against Crystal Palace towards the Christmas time, and it didn't quite work out. And the run that he's gone, I think you came with the interesting stat about February 1st, he had 0 goals, right? Just off camera.
Yeah, so February 1st, Nacho had 0 goals in the Prem. With this one, he's got 10. Just absolutely incredible. The run is just simply, really, it's just, I don't even know how to describe it. His play is just exceptional. He's exceeded all expectations. And I know I'm not the only one because I can fully admit that, by Christmas time last 2020 Christmas, I was like, he's not worth it. We've criticized him before, and I've got my entire foot in my mouth now because I've had to backtrack on those words, because he's been stellar. In my opinion, he's been one of the main reasons as to why we are in a position that we are in. He's the reason why we're in the FA Cup final. He's the reason why we are still in the top 4. What he has been able to do since February has been absolutely incredible.
He really has. And just the way he's performed and the way that Brendan Rodgers has managed to find a formation that gets the best out of him is just super, super important. But one player I think somebody mentioned it today, Ali, I'm trying to find the comment now, is Eze. Today, when he doesn't even look like he's trying, and he's getting past some of our players.
Yeah.
And I just went, my God, he's such a special talent for you guys. And
listen. Yeah. I mean, he is such a natural player. I mean, we've had a few players through the years. I mean, it doesn't actually, not a lot of people remember this, but we had Ashley Cole many years ago on loan, and Eze has the same sort of vibe that I felt when I saw Ashley Cole play when he was very, very young, and when I saw Wilfred Zaha play when he was very young. This is a special talent, as he said, but he's been misused, in my opinion, this season by Roy. And as I said, I could see Roy's reasons at the beginning of the season for moving Wilf in a central role, but he shunned, even when Wilf was out with COVID and then was injured, he kept shunting Eze out left. And for me, it was the biggest misuse of a player since Sven shunted Scholes to the left. You saw tonight what he can do through the middle of the pitch. He was really at the centre of everything. He has come in and played in the middle a couple of times and not played well, but I don't feel we've done his development a lot good this season by playing him on the left. He needed time to embed in the league in that role. But I did see something picked up on social media, which I think is a very good point. He's played in the attacking midfielder role against that pivot of Ndidi and Tielemans today and done really well. And I think you've got one of the best central midfielders in the league. So really, really impressed with him today. And long may that continue. Now, I'd like to see him stay in that role and Wilf to the left. But yeah, really good talent. And, he did well. Got a goal for the under-21s the other week as well.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Good to hear, because that 121 squad itself is a fantastic squad. I mean, some players aren't even getting to that.
Just a shame AD Boothroyd's manager, isn't it?
Yeah, but the whole England thing itself is another hour podcast that we could talk about.
Because it's just, maybe in the summer, mate, when the Euros are.
Yeah, when there's nothing else to talk about, but we'll have to see about that.
You could get James Maddison on, because he won't be in the squad, will he? Because he doesn't play for the EFL.
He's going to be dropped. He's going to be dropped. He might be in the under 20. I don't think he's capable, but anyway, anyway, we'll stay in that. We'll stay in that for now. We've got some interesting comments at the moment. Alex, over to you. In terms of Castagna and taking that first goal. First of all, halftime. I think Mark was saying this is where Brendan Rodgers earns his money. Where he comes in, he goes, right, now he needs to improve. This. keeps the team the same, because a lot of us were saying get Luke Thomas off, get a couple of people off as well. He rallies the troops and we get the goal and we're back in the game within 5 minutes, because that's pretty much perfect what we need to do.
Yeah, Brendan Rodgers is a motivator, and I think today was just another example as to why that, why he is. Castagna, great goal, great pass by Nacho to make it, tie up the game. So, from the angle that I was watching it at, I don't know what was going on. I thought Maddison scored, and then I saw the replay, and I was like, never mind, totally missed it. But no, Castagna, he has been one of those players for me this season that I just absolutely love to watch, and see him battle back from injury and just be able to get back into the squad and really take hold of that position, especially with Justin being out and with Ricardo not being fully fit. He's really taken it upon himself to really be the best that he can be, and I think today was just another clear example as to why he is.
Yeah, I think he's a incredible player, and what he was doing off the ball and fantastic as well. I think one thing I want to kind of flipping between the 2 points, the two squads. I think the amount of time that and opportunities that you had in the air, Ali, you kind of should have made something more happen, because Leicester, as you found out today, are not a physical squad. They're very much like Brendan Rodgers, quite small, quite technical. But you could definitely, from set pieces, we are very, very weak. And as you found today, but you just couldn't find the back of the net from set piece, which I was kind of surprised at, because a few times I was looking at the likes of Castagna on I've got his name now, Benteke, and you're thinking he should have had a few more opportunities and a few more shots either side. It's a goal.
Yeah, I mean, he had a couple, didn't he? I still don't think we put enough of those type of balls into him. I don't think we played to his strengths enough, and maybe we didn't do that again today. There's a lot of Palace fans were disappointed that he brought Townsend on and not Schlupp, but maybe that was in Roy's thinking when he brought Townsend on, because he can deliver those he's the one player who does deliver those type of balls for Christian. But yeah, he didn't quite go for him, did it? But he did actually play well, do something in the build up to our first goal. So yeah, I mean, it was an area we probably should have exploited more, but it just didn't fall for us in that second half. We definitely, when it went 1-1, we did have a little spell to get back, and there was a moment with when Benteke had the chance, and then Gyro really well obviously had the big chance, but it just didn't fall for us. And then you just sense that we're not very good stats wise in the last 15 minutes, and you kind of sense that your goal might come.
Yeah, and the goal did come, and let's just move on to Alex. It's what pretty much 60% of the comments are talking about at the moment. I'll try and get as many of the other ones on screen as possible as you're talking about it, but I mean, you're looking at that, and that doesn't even happen in FIFA. That's unbelievable, that goal.
Yeah, if you look at that, the rating or the difficulty of FIFA at that rank is lower than rookie or beginner at that rate. That was I screamed actually at the top of my lungs when it happened, and my wife thought I had a heart attack or a stroke or some sort. So yeah, it was pretty intense. But wow, that's really all I can say. Nacho, just when he is on top of his game, and he's oozing with confidence, and I think something like this, most of the time, no one would even consider. And the fact that he did this, he's on a whole new level. We're talking about a player that, like I've said before, was he even good enough to get in the squad in December? It wasn't. In February, he's undroppable, and from February onwards, you're looking at him going, undroppable. How could you even, consider that? And I think I said it to you before we started recording, but this is a goal of the season for me. Just the way that he handled it with poise and whatnot, and just incredible.
Yeah,
incredible.
It just, when it went in, I just went, what on earth is that? And also the build up to that, where there was opportunity after opportunity against their goal, and it just wasn't happening. There was terrible balls over. There was just final passes. Even Jamie Vardy, to a certain extent, I know he had a couple of small chances, but it's like you could just make something happen. And if that's another time, we do look in a different position. However, we win the games. We can't complain too much. We did create the chances, and it is when we're playing well that's the case. Just from your point, Ali, obviously when that goes in, I think defensively you can't complain too much about it, but just when you see a goal like that, we've had it done for our end, we just go, there's no stopping that.
A little bit. I mean, I don't understand why Patrick Van Aanholt's starting when he's out of contract in the summer. And you got a brilliant young left back in Tyreek Mitchell, and his positioning was questionable, but yeah, it was a great goal. I did get my hopes up a bit with the VAR review. Were you worried? I'm not saying it should have been disallowed, but you just never know with VAR, do you? So I was kind of like, oh, it could be, and then
I was similar. I was similar.
I mean, that's the thing tonight. I mean, there are a few fans on social media questioning Roy on the subs. They didn't act quickly enough. That should have come on sooner. But I just think you hold your hands up. I think he picked the right team. I just think the moments didn't go for us in that second half when Gyro should have shot himself. And then you just hold your hands up when a form player like that does that. So, yeah, I mean, fair play to him. It was a great goal, though. I'd argue it wasn't goal of the season because Eze ran 60 yards against Sheffield United.
Oh.
So I pitched for that one. But we know that it won't go to either of them, and it will go to Salah for some sort of tap-in. So we know the narrative. So, yeah,
we can agree there. Or it will be Aubameyang for his 3 goals he might have scored.
Yeah.
Against somebody or something like that.
Yeah,
but it is what it is. I mean, we just kind of we have to go about it. And at the end of the day, as you know, Ali, if we can't rely on other people to sing our narrative, we've got to sing it ourselves. And if they're not going to sing it, we're going to have to.
This is why these channels are great, I think, to get fans' point of view from clubs below the ESL clubs.
Yeah, and one thing I was going the non-ESL clubs, I would say, but I was going to say one thing. Obviously, you saw today we had Luke Thomas play, and he's a player that's kind of been in and out of the squad. He's been played more than Mitchell, but we've given the opportunity. And today, it just sometimes it didn't work. Sometimes you saw brilliance of him, but with Brendan Rodgers, we trust in the manager to go right. If you give this guy an opportunity, he can come good. Sometimes that backfires at us completely. But I think that's one problem with Mitchell, that you don't have the manager doesn't even give him a chance. And in this case, I mean, he came off at 60 minutes, Thomas, and you're going, fair play. He had a great game against West Brom. And today he didn't quite hit that same level. And that's all Mitchell needs, in my opinion. Just somebody to go, look, you can do this. Here's the opportunity. If it doesn't work out, don't worry about it. I've still got your back. And we'll have a go again soon.
I wouldn't mind if PVA was playing well. PVA has been a good player for us in the past, but he's probably having his worst season for us. I mean, his positioning is shocking on almost a game by game basis. It's baffling. I mean, Mitchell's had a few injuries, but when he gets injured, he just doesn't bring him back in. And the biggest puzzling thing about it is Patrick Van Aanholt's out of contract in the summer, and he's linked very heavily with Galatasaray. So I just don't think Roy cares. So don't think he's staying beyond the summer. So if you had a manager who's staying beyond the summer and looking to the future, you play Tyreek Mitchell, but he's playing PVA. So yeah, he just needs to be given a chance again. Hopefully he will, but I'm not holding my breath. Yeah,
I think he's the kind of player that that will do very well under the right academy. I remember you were saying that you got a grade 1 academy as well, a grade A academy, which I don't think we have, because otherwise we'd be talking about it as well. But sensational work, I think, coming out of the under 18s and under 23s for you. So it's just going to take time.
The under 18s are looking really good. All the games are free on YouTube. So I checked one out the other week, and some of them are looking hot prospects. So a couple of new Wilfs coming through. So that's kind of been the shining light of our season, to be honest, the under 18s. But it'll take them a year or two to come through. And yeah, I think that's going to be key to the new manager. Hopefully we appoint a new manager, that there's someone who brings through academy players.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that. But anyway, moving back to Leicester City, Alex. I mean, today there wasn't a lot to shout about. Jamie Vardy tried. You can see he huffed and he puffed, but he can't blow anybody's house down. He just can't get it in the back of the net at the moment, can he? He's trying, and you thought, okay, he could kick on from that game against West Brom, and it didn't quite happen for him today. But he's trying. He's linking up plays, bringing others into the game, but he just can't find the back of the net.
No, unfortunately he can't. But at the end of the day, he's still contributing to the game and to the team and to the way that we are playing each and every game. And he's one of the reasons why we're getting points every game, or whenever we do get points. So, if he's not scoring at the rate that we're so used to him scoring at, and he's contributing in other factors, I'm not concerned. The one thing I always know about Vardy is that eventually he'll figure it out, and all of a sudden this scoring run will erupt. that everyone will be like, oh, where was this player for the last 10, 15 games? Even if that's, next season or, the last 3 games of the season, I'm not concerned. Because at the end of the day, he still contributes to the entire time that he's playing.
And if you're wondering what that is, make sure you go and subscribe to Ali's channel. He'll really appreciate that, and watch and leave some nice comments from when his video comes out as well. And if you could hit that like and subscribe button for us, why would you not? I'm trying to get better at the whole YouTube plug thing. Follow Leicester City. We're doing that well, but make sure you leave a big thumbs up for us. Thank you very much. Anyway, coming back to the game, obviously we've got a lot of points at the moment in terms of what happened, but one thing I wanted to touch on, one man, obviously, Ali's mentioned his side with the Riedewald thing, and he didn't look confident, but Johnny Evans getting across that ball and just putting his body on the line, Alex, phenomenal. This is why people saying, oh, Suyuncu and Fofana should start just on the road. No, you need that rock in there. You need Johnny Evans in there, just as I know he was injured, but we'll come on to Gary Cahill and how much of a player he is, but we need Evans today for players like that.
Evans steers the ship. It's very clear to see. I've been saying this the entire season because everyone's been saying, Evans isn't as good as he used to be. Let's bring in Fofana and Suyuncu. And I've always been like, no, without Evans, it's clear as day the back 4 or the back 3 or whatever is lost. He really dictates play, and he puts the other players wherever he wants to go. Tackle of the century. That was just absolutely brilliant. I couldn't believe the way he did it. Like, just
£3 million. But yeah, sensational. And just on the back that I think somebody put about Czech Kuyati as well. Well, I think as a player that's playing out of position, Ali, he's doing his business. He's doing well, and you're just kind of clinging on. And I remember you've got quite a few injuries coming into this game as well, with the likes of Gary Cahill and a few other players as well. So that's something to not be laughed at as well, because defensively you were very solid considering the amount of players you've got out.
Yeah, I don't think he's a natural centre half, and ideally he wouldn't be playing there. But he's done a sterling job, so you can't really complain. Yeah, we've had injuries there. James Tompkins been out most of the season, and he's a big loss, really. At one point our injury list was higher than Liverpool's, but Sky Sports won't tell you.
Never mentioned, mate. Trust me.
I'm sounding quite bitter tonight on the old Sky Sports narrative, but Kuyati's done well, considering it's not his natural position. Ideally, I think we need to buy 2 centre halves in the summer, because Cahill, good in his day, but his day has come. I don't know why we're offering another year to Scott Dan. I don't think he did too badly tonight, but I think his time has come as well.
He's not right, but he's a centre back, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, but I mean, he's another one who just thinks he's a bit over the hill now. So we definitely need at least 1 younger centre back, ideally 2. But Kuyati, he stepped up on Johnny Evans. I've always thought Johnny Evans was underrated, and he was let go by Man United around the same time they mistreated Wilfried Zaha, and it was around that time they made terrible errors in certain players. He could still be within that United squad, couldn't he? But it's all right. They got a fridge for 80 million. So
yeah, and we'll take that in advance.
I actually, to be fair, I actually quite like Harry. This might not go down my Leicester fans. I think Harry Maguire is a much better player than some people give him credit for. But I do think Johnny Evans has been underrated throughout his career.
Yeah, I definitely do. And even now, people are writing Johnny Evans off, and the player that he is, he's sensational, and just people here a one-man bus because he was just insane today. And if you go down, he's one of the players as well. I don't know if you experience this with like Gary Cahill, but when you go down and see a match, you realize how important he is with his direction. He's pointing. He's like, right, okay, get him. Don't worry, I've got him. And I think you have the same thing with Gary Cahill.
Yeah, I mean, Gary Cahill first season did really well. His legs are gone now, but you can just see. I always sort of never really, even when he was at his peak, never really rated Gary Cahill. I always saw the England days when him and Jagielka at centre back as dark days for England. But you can just tell his class. He just oozes it. And yeah, I'd love to have seen him play actually right at his peak for us, but obviously that's a bit unrealistic. But yeah, you can tell that obviously he wasn't playing today, and possibly a loss. I don't know. I don't think you could have done anything about that Iniacho goal, could you? So, but yeah, another player like Johnny Evans who's very good. But I mean, I'm not Gary Cahill's contract's up. I don't know whether he'll be here next season or what his plans are.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see about that because I think you've got 10 players out of contract at the end of the season. So a big rebuild is needed for Crystal Palace, especially with a lot of things have gone on. But just again, a bit of highlight about that goal as well. A bit behind the scenes, me and Alex just we logged on and we just looked at each other like, I don't know what to say. Like that was just sensational. When you're if I was being the ground of that one, you go, what happened? And even that's a goal you appreciate when you're at home rather than when you appreciate your regular. Okay, that was oh, they scored, fantastic. You go home, you go, oh my god, like that kind of goal. But I just want to get up another big fans of ours. Oh my god, the comment's so big, it's cutting everybody's face off. But yes, shout out to again the Hellnick Foxes. We've got Ali, we've got a big group of Greek foxes over there. They're fantastic, bigger community than ours, but they're just sensational. But fantastic, yeah. Castagna 2 scores. Ricardo again. Ricardo's finding it difficult to back in. We didn't even really miss him, to be honest, too much today. With Albrighton coming in, we'll come on to him in a second. But yeah, shout out to the Hellnick Foxes. Make sure you go to follow them as well. But I want to bring it on to you, Alex. Today, Albrighton, a man that will go completely underrated, but when he came on today, providing the width, a player that gives you that 7 out of 10, pulling players out of position, I think he definitely deserves a shout today because he came on and it did help change the game and help Kelechi get his goal.
Yeah, he doesn't get enough credit that he's deserved. He really does change the way that the game is played, even if it's in the smallest way. So yeah, you got to give a little bit of a, yeah, you got to give it to Albrighton for that because that was just incredible. It's like I said, I feel like every single player, out of all players, I feel like he's one of the players that really contributes, in the smallest of ways, and that's huge because you always expect big plays from some of the bigger players, but when you have a player coming off the bench who only needs to do what he's used to doing, doesn't need to do anything fancy, doesn't need to do anything, a huge wow factor, but that's what you have him here for, and every single time he does it, it's the same thing, and it's exactly what you need.
Exactly. Again, Diego makes a good point. Same thing as Alex talked about. A sub, he's fantastic. Even when he starts, he gives you that. I've always compared him to James Milner, and people have laughed me off the park for people that don't watch Leicester City. And he is our James Milner because he's fantastic in playing multiple positions, and he gives you that effort every single time. And today, in terms of the performance we needed, he was that difference. But back to you, Ali, in terms of Wilfried Zaha. I mean, today. He didn't have too many opportunities, but at the same time, he's trying to make things happen. He is working from the front, and he's kind of bringing his team forward. And to be fair, as a Crystal Palace fan, you're probably just brilliant to see that.
Yeah, I thought he took the goal really well. I'm interested to see. I'm pretty sure it was him who threaded the ball through for Gyro, but I've got the telly on in the background. I'm just trying to ascertain that, but it hasn't been shown yet. Yeah, some Palace fans said he went missing in the second half, but like I said, I thought he came out really, really well. And exploited your wing back system in the first 20 minutes. And yeah, that's his 10th goal. He's in double figures, and we are a team who have less than 40% possession in every single game. So that's his second time he's got to double digits in 3 seasons. And there's pundits out there who say he's got no end product. I've always said that there'll always be a narrative around him, and he just keeps proving people wrong. But I thought he did well, but ultimately he couldn't quite get a hold of the game in those last 20 and get in the game enough. And that's kind of the problem, really. That's the double-edged sword of the Palace fan. You kind of feel, does he need to go somewhere where he'll be in the game more? And you feel he's 28 and he gets all these people writing him off, and it's such a double-edged thing. Like, I'd love him to stay, and I'd love us to get a more positive manager and him to do it with us. But at the same time, I'd love him to go, if he did go, and just shove it down some of these pundits' throats big time.
Yeah, and it's funny how the narrative changes. We've seen it with Ben Chilwell, we've seen it with Harry Maguire, with when they play for us and when they play for the other big clubs, and you see how the things change massively. You're just like, why? But and in my opinion, both of them players have actually got worse since they left Leicester. To be perfectly honest with you, Alex, I don't know if you agree there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not Leicester. You talking to Alex?
Yeah. Yes, Alex, you're on mute, mate. It's stuck. I don't. Are you there?
The other thing I'd say, Neil, an interesting stat on Wilf is because the problem is sometimes you can't directly compare to the top players. When you look at Mane, when Mane was at Southampton, he got 11 goals in a team that came 6th and had Virgil van Dijk in. Now, obviously, Mane is a player who's then gone on in his career and done great things. So I'm not doing a direct comparison, but that's the most comparison I can give to a player of a quality level playing in a similar type team to Palace. So when you look at what Wilf does, he's on 10 goals already and the season's not over. And Manny got 11 in the Southampton team. He finished 6th. It stands up pretty well, actually, his stats. Just a plug to my 150 subscribers now. There's a video I've got. It's the title video on my thing, Saha, the truth behind the stats. And it just gives some context to that, because there's still people out there who say he's got no end product. Yeah,
I was going to say that's a video that initially drew me to your channel in the first place as well. And you find the Beyond the 90 comment there as well. So minimum, you can go check out the video, check out our comment on Addy's channel. That'll be more than happy for us as well. Let me just get the table up just for a second, because I think this thing that we do every single game, Alex, but especially now, is your audio okay?
We're good.
Okay, we're good. But yes, just to get your thoughts again. 33 games, 62 points. We're 5 ahead of Chelsea now, pulling away from this gap, which is now saying that it's 33, 55. 7-point gap to 5th place. However, people will still be writing us off the top 4.
As they always do. This will be a battle to the end. Even if we have the points to clinch the Champions League, I feel like you'll have reporters and all the stereotypical fans that will be saying of all the top 6 clubs being like, well, you're still going to bottle it. So I feel like these next 2 games are going to be absolutely crucial heading into those final 3 matches. But I feel like we are in the driver's seat. We are dictating what will happen. I've said this before. Don't look back at the teams that are trying to catch you. You are in control. So these next 2 games against Southampton and Newcastle are going to be huge. And then those final 3 games against Man United, Chelsea, and Spurs, I think it is going to even be more intense. So we're in for a wild final 5 games.
It's going to be pretty intense. I mean, we've got another game just on Friday. I mean, these times are really messing up my daylight savings or whatever it's called, because it's just we're having weekends free. It feels like I don't know about you, Ali, but it feels strange not having a game at the weekends. I was like, I can actually go out and enjoy myself a little bit more.
I quite enjoy it. No Palace is probably, it's quite liberating, and it's nice. It's nice to have a weekend off Roy Ball, to be honest, when we get these games off. So I was a bit disappointed then, Neil, that you didn't scroll slightly up so that Arsenal couldn't be seen.
Oh, okay. It's okay. Hopefully you'll be able to finish them, because I'd love for you to finish. And again, you were speaking about Zaha. He's got more goals than Werner. Zaha's got more goals than Werner, more goals than Aubameyang, and a couple of these strikers that haven't even been mentioned before, and because they're the top 6 teams.
Yeah, well, the Aubameyang one's interesting because Arteta's done the opposite of what Roy did. So, I mean, I've said that I wanted Wilf back on the left, but at the start of the season, Roy did really well to move Zaha to the centre, because when he was on the left, he used to get like treble marked all the time. So something needed to change because sandwiched in between these double-digit seasons, he did have a poor season stats-wise last season. But Arteta's put Aubameyang on the left now, and it seems to be similar. Like, he just gets more marked out the game. So, it's interesting, isn't it? But it won't get mentioned that he's got double digits now. And the same thing with us in Iheanacho. I mean, all of the focus has been on Jesse Lingard, and he has been great, but he's stopped while Kelechi Iheanacho's kept going. And another thing, Kelechi Iheanacho has signed a new contract, and his form has continued to grow, something that Aubameyang on 350,000 a week hasn't done. And just a quick question, 2 things I want to touch on for Ali before we finish, because again, it is late at night now. We're getting on for times. One thing from Derek who have Palace got in their last few games as well? Well, we got Arsenal. We have got Arsenal, and if they're in the Europa League final, they probably won't care. So we could get something there. We've also got Liverpool on the last day at Anfield.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be. But you don't know with Liverpool this season. They could turn up. You could smash them, especially with the way you play. I think you beat them once already this season, right?
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I'm thinking as well. Well, yeah, I mean they might still be playing for the top four, so we still could have a big say in what happens. But I mean, to be honest, I'm really not fast about this end of the season. I've been, you know, what my attitude's been like towards the style of football. I'm looking forward to being over, to be honest. All the interest for us is off the pitch, and will Roy get a contract extension? And if not, who's it going to be? And that's where the interest is right now for Palace fans, to be honest.
And that's all you have to do. Put your faith in. Well, I don't know how you feel about the board and stuff like that as well, because at the end of the day, we had the same situation at the club where we're like, just get this crap over and done with. And then they sacked him, brought in Rodgers, and he's just taken us to the next level. And as you're saying, you've got the players to do that, and hopefully with the under-23s and the under-18, push them into the squad and build something amazing from that. But finally, we always like to touch on X-Foxes. Jeffrey Shupp, I know we didn't see a lot of him as he came into the game, but how has he been for you so far? Again, somebody came through our academy. We love him to bits, but we're big fans of him. We just know he can't finish.
A lot of fans are really, really frustrated. A lot of fans are, you know, that he wasn't brought on today earlier. I think he's central to our system of our counter attack, because he's actually played as a third man in a central midfield for us, so he can really counter attack and help us do that really quickly, and it's essential to our system. But Roy's playing Jordan Ayew above him. I don't know why. Jordan Ayew does work hard. Some of our fans justify it by saying Jordan Ayew runs a lot, but you know, Forrest Gump runs a lot. He doesn't play football, so yeah. I mean, Schlupp should be playing. When he does play this season, he's played well, and a lot of Palace fans are frustrated he isn't playing.
Yeah, I think so. Again, he's one that he's loved. He's obviously got the Premier League winners medal, which is massive to us as well. Somebody that came through our academy, we love. But yeah, quickly, Ali, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Where can the people find you? Because the link is in the description, regardless.
Pride of South London Fan TV, a couple of videos and stuff. I did one on the whole Super League nonsense as well. Always a pleasure coming on this show. Look forward to doing it next season as well.
Yeah, hopefully our clubs are in very different positions. Still going to be written off either way. Alex, I know you're going to take off, but thank you for joining as well. Any other questions for Ali before we finish?
No, I'm good.
Okay. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure, hopefully they could go beat Arsenal as well. But yes, hopefully everybody enjoyed watching. Thank you so much if you're still watching. Big thumbs up. Thank you so much for that. Make sure you like, subscribe to the video. We've got another preview hopefully coming out with a Saints fan after we beat them in the semi-final. Then we've got them on Friday. It's a busy week, but make sure you're tuning into the channel. Bring you the best content we possibly can at the moment. But thank you for watching. Let's back Leicester all the way. Good luck for Crystal Palace for the rest of the season, and we'll see everybody in the next video. So goodbye.
Thank you.